Vicky, your stream is live now, and now you can make me your co-host.
All righty.
Okay, thank
Let's
you.
do this. You're so welcome. Okay, all
Thank
done.
you.
Turn my video
Good luck
on.
with your class.
Thank you. Hello, Elaine. Hi, Vera.
Hello.
Welcome. The theater. Terry's going to be coming in. We could have a nice, good crew here today. And happy Saturday to everyone.
Hi, Vicki.
Hello. I love Terry's butterfly. It's so beautiful. She's this very delicate looking butterfly.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So when you don't have your camera on, Terry, do you know that you have a picture of a butterfly up there?
No.
Yeah. So somehow, I don't know if you did this or somebody else did it for you, but in your Zoom profile, somebody went into, or maybe you went into your profile and you can actually add an image to your profile. So what that will do is when you turn your camera, when you stop your video, instead of just having your name displayed, it will display the image that you've
I see.
selected.
I'll have to check and see if I did that because I am a butterfly girl.
Okay. Hello, Roz.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Hi,
It's good to-
everyone. Hi,
Hello.
how
Now-
are you?
I'm good.
Good. I see Elaine has her mountains or something behind her.
Yeah,
I like-
Elaine, what is that a background of?
Those are the pitons in St. Lucia. I took that picture from a boat.
Okay. Oh, St. Lucia. Ah,
Yeah,
beautiful.
would like to go back.
Yes. Hello, Gail. How are you doing today? Gail may not be on yet. And hello, Marlene.
I'm doing good. Glad
Oh.
to be part of this. Hi, Vicki.
Hi, Marlene. Hi, Gail. It's great to have you
Hello.
on board. Hello, hello. I'm just going to give it another minute or two. We have a few more folks coming in. And while I'm waiting for people, I'm going to paste something into the chat. We have a new series that we're starting. Let me go ahead and paste that. So Marge is with our support team. I pasted this. It's a long one. Sorry, we're calling it the Daily Lunch Special. I don't know if you've ever met Marge, but she's fabulous. She's on our support team. Just a real amazing. It's starting on Monday. It's going to be held every day. 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I've put a link into our Get Set Up, and it's just a drop-in. So whatever you're doing, whether it's your lunchtime or just after lunch, it's just an open-ended have lunch with Marge and just get a chance to hang out with people. Coming in and out. talking about things. Just it's an opportunity to gather with others. So I wanted to put that into the chat so people know about it. It is starting on Monday. And I also wanted to just let everyone know that Todd is with us as well. Todd's with our Get Set Up support team. And Todd's going to be helping me monitor the chat. So if you have any questions today, feel free just to unmute yourself or put your question in the chat. We're both going to be monitoring it. So it's very, very relaxed today on this Saturday. We'll have some more people joining us. I'm going to go ahead and get started so that we can really take advantage of our time together here. So let me share my screen. And first of all, welcome everyone. It's great to have you in class today. I'm Vicki, your Get Set Up guide. Just a little bit about me for those of you maybe who haven't met me before. I'm here in San Jose, California. Not sure if we have any other folks hanging out, with us today from California. I'm in Northern California and right in the heart of Silicon Valley. So not surprisingly, I worked in high tech for 30 years plus, doing technical support, lots of technical training and instructional design. I have taught students from around the world. I have taught folks who are very technical, but I've also taught folks who maybe more like yourself are just really getting into this world of technology. And being a guide with Get Set Up lets me do what I really love, and that's educate folks about technology. So just a little bit about me. We love it when everybody turns their cameras on. I understand maybe your camera's not working, or you're having a meal and you're joining us, or you're just, not camera ready today. I leave that up to you. It's just more fun when we can see each other, but that's your choice. Today's class is being recorded. So if you would like a copy of the recording, you can email us at help@getsetup.io and just let us know the name of the class as well as the date that you attended the class. For those of you who are joining us via live stream, hello and welcome. You can see and hear everything we're doing today, but I always recommend that folks go to our website and register for the class, because this way you can fully participate in class. I will be sending out after class notes to everyone via email. Those folks who are joining us via live stream, you won't be able to get those emails. So that's another bonus for signing up, actually registering for a class. And lastly, we here at Get Set Up, we're a training organization. Guides are not paid to promote any specific products or services. It's all about the training here for us. And just so you know, we have classes, interest groups, and social hours 7 days a week. We offer them in the US, the UK, India, Australia, New Zealand, and we're going to be having Singapore join us shortly. So we offer something 24/7. I always joke with my classes, if you're an insomniac and you're up at 2 a.m. wandering around the house, log on to Get Set Up and there'll be something going on for you. If you really have loved and enjoyed the classes, interest groups, social hours that you've been taking on Get Set Up, we've made it easier for you to invite others to join you. So you notice now when you book a class, you'll have the option to click on the invite a friend button or click here to send email. And what that lets you do is copy the link or send an email to others saying, hey, come join me for this class. It looks really great. So we like to say, share the learning. So that's just something there. And what are we going to cover today? So I'm just going to dive right into it. We're going to start by talking about some of the minimum hardware and software requirements that you'll need in order to use virtual backgrounds in Zoom. I'm going to show you how you can add a background, change it, both on the desktop. I'll start with a PC first, and then I'm going to show you how, if you're working on a tablet or a smartphone, how you can do it. And you'll just see what the differences are when you're working with backgrounds. Not much, it's just the difference with menus. And again, if you have any questions, just stop me and let me know. And I have two different monitors that I work off of. So I have some things on one monitor and some things on another monitor. So when you see me doing this, it's because I'm just glancing at the other monitor. All right, let's start off by talking about the the background requirements that you need in order to run the virtual Zoom background. So I actually have a file here, and I'll be sending this to you as well in the after class notes. So these are system requirements, and what we've done is I've gone to the Zoom Help Center, and I'm not going to go through this entire document. What I will do is point out some important points for you to know. So, for example, if you're on a Windows system, I would say the best bet is if you're running Windows 7 or above, that should be fine. Also, if your machine is 3-4 years old, you're probably fine using a virtual background. Also, make sure that you have you've upgraded your Zoom version to the latest, 5.2 or higher. And I have a screenshot that shows you how you can update your Zoom version. So that's really for Windows. And if you're trying to figure out, it says if you have an Intel i3 processor, i5, and you're thinking to yourself, where do I find this? It's, just know that if you're running off of Windows 7 and above, you're most likely okay. Update your Zoom client. If you're on, let me go to the top here. If you're on running off of a MacBook or something like that, this is the Zoom client. You'll need to be running your Mac OS version. Your operating system has to be 10.13 or higher. And so I also wanted to show you, if you're, Terry has a question here when you tells me that the system doesn't support it, Windows 10. You might be out of luck, Terry, if your system may just be a little too old, a little too slow to support virtual backgrounds. And you might be out of luck. Yes.
I've just had my laptop for about 1.5 years.
Oh, no. Then no, you should be, especially if you're on Windows 10. And it says it doesn't support it. What type of a laptop do you have, Terry?
I have Intel Pentium Gold.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, if you'll hold on, maybe hang out a little bit after class ends and we can talk a little bit more about this.
Okay.
Yeah, but just take it all in, what we're talking about today.
Will do.
Great. So if you're on a Mac, by the way, and you're trying to find out what your system, what OS you're on, what you can do is choose the Apple menu and select About This Mac. And that's how you'll find out which OS you're running, the name, Big Sur, this is, version 11.0, you'll see. So on a Mac, that's how you'll figure out what your operating system is. If you're on an Android or on a phone, any phone really, you'll just tap your, go into your system, that settings. And then if you scroll down and you find About Phone or About My Phone, that will tell you what operating system you're currently on. And if you're on a PC, what I'm doing is, and you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to my start menu and I'm just typing out my PC. I'm hoping you can see it on my screen here. If I select this PC, what I can do is with my mouse, I can right click. I'm on a Windows machine. And then if I select properties for this PC, it brings up what my system, my hardware properties are. And it tells me I'm on Windows 10 and the OS and so on. So I just wanted to quickly show that to you. And I can also tell you, just in general, if you're working off of a smartphone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, you need to be on a phone that's a model 8 or above to support Windows. If you're on a tablet, like for example, I'm on an iPad, you need to be on what they call a 5th generation iPad. So, and I'll be adding this document to our after class note. So it's just to give you a general idea of what your hardware and software requirements are, and just make sure that you've updated your version of Zoom. And to do that, if you're on a PC, or if you've downloaded the Zoom app to your desktop, what you can do is bring up the Zoom app, select your profile. You may have I have a picture here. Just click on your profile icon, and there's another menu that drops down. You can't see this. This is very small, but in the menu, it will say click for updates. And when you tap or click on that, if there are any Zoom updates, it will automatically update your Zoom version. And this is if you're working on a MacBook or a PC. If you're on a smartphone or a tablet, what you'll do is, depending upon whether you're running on Android or an iPhone, you will either go to your App Store or your Google Play Store. You'll tap on your profile icon. It's all the way in the upper right of the screen. And then you'll simply scroll all the way down until you get to, there's an available updates section. Find the Zoom app under available updates, and then all you need to do is tap on this update button right here, and it will update your Zoom version. And so just a quick overview of how you're going to update your Zoom version if you're running on a version that's just a little too old. Any questions about this so far? We're good. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, hi, Angela.
Okay, because I'm coming in late, so I try to come in, but I got a hard time to come in, so I'm in the middle of just coming in. And you said that I need to find out what my version of the Zoom, right? So I'm looking at the screen that you have right now, the join new meeting schedule and share screen, but I couldn't find on the right hand side that click the profile. So do I click my name?
You can, yeah.
I'm using the iPad generation 4. iPad Air generation 4.
Okay.
So on my screen, and I have my initial name on the right left hand side, and then home, chat, meeting, and contact. So do I press the second to find out what my version is?
Yeah, if you can find, even if you don't have a profile picture, it may have your name or your initial here.
Okay.
Or just, yeah. And just so that you know, Angela, generation 4 iPad
Air.
iPad Air. All right, I'll have to check on that for you.
It's not up-to-date version.
It may not be. Let me verify, and we'll go ahead and go
Okay.
through this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, yeah, and if you're still having problems, feel free to just stay on later after we finish up, and I'll be happy to
Okay.
walk
Sorry
this
to
through.
disturb.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
It's great when people can go through this. So we'll get you squared up. Well, welcome. let's talk a little bit about green screens. So for those of you who are able to add virtual backgrounds, who do have systems that meet the minimum requirement, you still may find that when you try to use a virtual background, your picture may like fade into your virtual background, and it's hard to know where your face is versus the background. You'll also see, for me, I have a relatively new machine. I'm not using a green screen, but you'll see sometimes when I'm moving my hand or my head, it kind of fades in and out of the background. My hand looks like it's disappearing, and I probably could use a green screen. So if you're having difficulty, again, if you try to, add a virtual background and it's just your face keeps blurring and it fades in, and I'll show this to you when we talk about how we add our virtual background, you may want to consider using a green screen. So what Zoom is doing is when you are adding a background, it needs to do a lot of calculations to try to figure out where your face ends and your background begins. So if you have a very busy background, it's not, one color, it could make it a little bit more difficult when you're displaying your background. So what you might want to consider doing is using something called a green screen. So for those of you who've watched, the weather forecasters, you've seen this where they do their whole fancy, and we have a front coming in and here are the squalls. They have a green screen in back of them. And what's projecting on that green screen is the whole map, the weather map. So this is similar to what we're doing here with the virtual background. So green screens, what they do is they provide you with a solid colored background, and there are different sizes. So for this one, this portable webcam, it's about $24. You can buy all of these on Amazon or, just search for them. It actually attaches to the back of your chair. I don't know if you can see it right here. It has these little straps, and then you have a green screen that just sort of goes around your head. And so if you're going to be using Zoom where you're just up close like I am, that'll probably work for you fine. Some of these other larger green screens you might need to invest in if maybe you're teaching a class and your computer is going to be a little bit further away as you're moving around. You might want a larger green screen to cover a larger area to help you. And again, they're not very expensive. You can try it. You can also try just a sheet. You can try putting up just a plain colored sheet in the back of you and see if that helps at all. So these are green screens. And if you do decide to get one, I'll show you how, when you're setting up your virtual background, you can tell Zoom that, hey, I'm using a green screen. Anybody have any questions about green screens? Okay, just stop and let me know. So for example, Angela, what I'm seeing, this is a perfect example. I don't know if other folks can see Angela. She just, she's kind of blending in and out of her virtual background. She probably will need to use a green screen. So that would help with that problem. That's what I'm glad can you see everybody how Angela kind of blends in?
Yeah, I see her moving.
Yeah. And so Angela will need, if she gets a green screen, and then when she sets up her virtual background, when she selects, I have a green screen, that will help with that problem. It will help Zoom differentiate between Angela's face and her background.
Where to find, suppose if I buy one of those green screen, where do I find that's telling them that I have a green
Oh, I'm going to show you when
Oh,
we
I-
go to set up our virtual
I
background.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. We'll do this. All
Okay,
right.
what's there about green?
I'm sorry.
What is there about green?
What about green? That's a really good question. In my research, I found different articles that say, try using any sheet, any other color. It doesn't necessarily have to be green. I'm sure there's a reason why they're green screens, forecasters do this. But maybe if you want to go with, I don't know if white would be a good color, but maybe a slightly darker color, just a regular, a solid colored sheet. So I'm not sure what the significance of green is. But I want to find out now. This is a good. Let me find out and see if I can add it to our after class notes. I love it when I get these questions because it lets me learn too. Thank you for that.
I purposely put my virtual background on for you to see.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have questions about the green screen? And you won't need it, but some of you may. So let's talk about working with virtual backgrounds. I'm going to start talking about how we set this up on a PC, if you're on a Mac or a Windows machine. And then I'm going to switch over to, I have an iPad today, and I'm going to show you how you set this up. It's almost identical. We just go into slightly different menus. So if you've downloaded the app, the Zoom app on your PC or your MacBook, your desktop, you don't even have to start a meeting. What you can do is when you bring up your app, you'll find this little gear icon on your app in the upper right-hand corner. And when you click on the gear, it brings you to your settings menu. Once you're in your settings menu, you'll select background and filters. And this is where we'll start working with our backgrounds. So let me go ahead and see if I can bring up. Let me just stop my share. I'm going to do share a different way because I want you to be able to see everything. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen just differently so that I can show you my toolbar. All right. So hopefully everyone, can you see my toolbar down at the bottom here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So because I'm working on a PC, even when you're in a meeting, what you can do is when I click on this little white arrow button right next to the stop video, I'm not clicking on the actual stop video button. I'm clicking on that white arrow. When I do this, I have the option to click on choose virtual background. And if you don't see choose virtual background, it means that your system is just a little too old to support virtual backgrounds. And so I'm just going to show you how to get into your virtual background. You can, and again, I already have Zoom running on my system. So I have to work with the Zoom meeting that I'm currently in. So when I select choose virtual background, this is that same screen that you get to if you click on your settings, that little gear, and select background and filters, the exact same menu. I just happen to have a Zoom meeting in progress. But if you're working on the app on your desktop, you don't even have to start a meeting. You can just click on that gear icon in your settings, select background and filters, and we always have our little preview screen. Now, some of you may have a few of these images that come with Zoom backgrounds. And so by default, it's set to none. But as you click on, if you have any of these images, some of you may not, it will start changing your images in this preview section here. Some of the images that Zoom provides have some movement like this. So let me know if those of you who are working on a PC, if you have any questions so far.
I have the virtual background and I put in some pictures, but as you know that every single picture, no matter what I put, and I'm still blurry, right? And then underneath they said I have a green screen and I got a tick over that area. It still doesn't work for me. And then I mirror by video, got a tick over there. So, and then on the other side, they got stereo effects. I don't know what that is.
So you clicked on, I have a green screen, Angela, and it still isn't working.
No, yeah.
Well,
so
do
maybe
you know what? Actually,
do
you have a green screen? That's the other thing. If you actually go out and buy a green screen, and then you select, I have a green screen, it's going to help you tremendously.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's good.
Or even try it with a sheet. Maybe you have a regular solid colored sheet. See if that helps
and
before
put at the back of my head.
Yeah, you may have to somehow drape it. Or maybe see if somebody can hold it up just to test.
Yeah,
before
to test.
you buy one.
Yeah. Okay, that's good idea. Thank you.
And again, and so this is where it says I have a green screen. So as you can see, when I click on I have a green screen, this is that problem where, you know, you're sort of blend in with your virtual background. And that's when you'll actually truly need to go out and buy a green screen.
Okay.
And so for those of you who may not have any of these photos, these images available, let me show you how you can add your own image. And again, because I'm just demonstrating how to do this on the PC. If you have a laptop, desktop, MacBook kind of a thing, what you'll do even if you have images and you want to add your own, what you can do is over here on the right-hand side of my screen, if I click on the plus sign, there's a menu that drops down, add image, add video. And by the way, even if you're on a smartphone or a tablet and you get to your background and filter screen, it's the same, it's working the same. So if you click on add image, what it's going to do is bring up File Explorer on your PC, or it'll bring up Finder if you're on a Mac, like a MacBook. And then you can go to different folders on your PC. And if you have any images, maybe JPEG files or these PNG files, any images that you have downloaded to your PC, you can select them. I'm just going to click on open. It's a JPEG. And then this is a file, that image that I downloaded during Christmas time, during the holiday time. And so again, the way that I did that was I clicked on the plus sign. I selected add image. And because I'm on a laptop, it's going to open up something called File Explorer. Or if you're on a MacBook, it'll open up Finder. And it will allow you to navigate any folder on your hard drive, your local drive, and select an image file that you've downloaded.
Can I have another question?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, when I click on add, and then I got exactly those pictures and whatever folder, but where I can find my Google, because there is limited over on my computer, but I download all the picture in my Google Photo. So where I can click on Google Photo to get the picture.
Sure. So for what you'll need to do is, and actually, Angela, let's hold off on that just for a moment. Sure. When I get to my iPad, let's talk about that. Okay. Great question, though. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Another thing that we can do, since we're talking about photos, you can also add images that are video. And if I click on add video, I think I may have actually added one of these. I have one of these. You'll see it's an MP4 file. That is a video file, whether it's a MP4 file or .mov file. Those are two file extensions that apply to video files. You can select one of these video files if you've downloaded it to your, in this case, to your PC. And I've already downloaded this. It was this particular file. It's a waterfall. And I'll show you where I find these. And again, all you're doing is clicking on this plus sign, selecting either just add an image, a static image, or if you've downloaded a video. And I go search for videos that are specific for Zoom virtual backgrounds. And then it will, and I'll take you through that process. And so once you've downloaded your different videos, your different images, you can simply go through and select different images for your background right here. Any questions about clicking the plus sign and adding an image or video?
Well, when you're adding, this is Gail, when you're adding something from a video, is it actually adding the entire video or just a section or a piece of that video? How does that work?
It's a loop.
Oh,
It's doing a loop. So let me just show you. I am going to open up, I have my browser. And I'm going to just do a search on my browser window. Let's talk about, I don't know, video for Zoom background. Let's see if they have it. Virtual backgrounds, Zoom video, getting started. Let me see. Free video backgrounds. I'm going to click on that. And again, you'll just need to search for something, you know, free video backgrounds for Zoom. And then some of these are, you can play them. These are interesting. What's this one? Will it let me do it? Download video background. Oh, it just took a little while to render. So some of them have music. This looks interesting. And they're all different. You know, go to different sites. This looks pretty. What's going on here?
At first, when you show was very impressive.
Yes, it's yeah, it is, isn't it? And so, you know, try different sites. One site that I like to go to for my images, let me come up here, and I'm going to add this to after class notes. It's called pexels.com. Let me put it into the chat, pexels.com, and it's free. And you can just start searching on, you know, ocean waves, anything that you think looks gorgeous. And then you can always, when you hover over a particular photo, if you click on download, this little download, or you can click on a photo, select free download, and then save your file. It typically saves it, if you're on a PC, it saves it to your download folder, or on a Mac, where would the finder go? I have to figure out, I don't have a Mac, but I can't remember where it's going to go, but it will download it. Let me make sure that it started the download. Let's try it one more time. I think it already did. And so if I go back to my, let me just go to my file explorer, make sure that in my downloads folder, it's there. Yep, this is the file that I downloaded. And so again, if I go back to my Zoom session, I can click on that little up arrow right next to the video camera, select my virtual background. And then if I click on my add button, select my image, here's that image that I downloaded, and it automatically selects it for you. Any questions about that? Okay.
Can't wait to get started.
That's what I'm thinking. I was just going to ask you. So again, just to review, I've currently just been walking you through working on a PC, how we set things up. And again, if you've downloaded the Zoom app to your desktop, you can always click on, open up your Zoom app, go to the upper right-hand corner, click on your profile or that settings gear. It looks like a little gear that I showed you. And then you can simply set up your background right there. What you also might want to do is you can start a Zoom call. Go to open up your app, start a Zoom call, and just see what your background looks like. Because once you've started a Zoom call, a Zoom meeting, remember you can always go to that up arrow button, select choose virtual background, and then add more backgrounds, change your background around. No, you don't have to invite anyone to the meeting. Just see what you look like when you choose a different virtual background. And then you can stop the meeting whenever you're ready. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? All right, so we talked about starting you can start your meeting at any time. You don't have to invite everyone. Also, I showed you how when you're in a meeting, you can always click on that little up arrow button, select choose a virtual background, and select a different background from there. We talked about adding videos as well as images. And again, when you're searching for those, video files, if you'd like to have some movement, I would suggest maybe choosing a video file that doesn't have, fireworks exploding all over. Keep it calm and quiet. The ones that I just landed on before, I hadn't been to that website before, they have music. I would suggest not having music. There are many other websites out there where if you just search on, great video virtual backgrounds for Zoom, there are many sites out there that don't have music. So I tend to prefer to keep mine quiet so it's not as distracting. And this is Bob Cohen. Bob usually teaches, he very often teaches this class as well. So any questions so far before I keep going? I wanted to talk about the mobile, how we do this if you're working on a phone or I'm on a tablet today. Let me see, I have my, all right, sorry for all the different, I have a bunch of screens up here. Let me see if I can just put this up here. Sorry if this is very distracting. So this is my tablet that I'm on, and I'm on an iPad today. So you'll notice that I have this gear, the settings over here. I'm hoping everyone can see my screen. If I tap on settings, unfortunately, there is no way for us to select virtual backgrounds from settings. I don't know why, but it is different when you're on a mobile device versus working on the app on your PC. So What you'll need to do is if you're on a working on a tablet or a smartphone, you'll need to tap new meeting,
Mhm.
start a meeting. I'm just going to start a meeting in my personal room. And again, you don't have to invite anyone. Start a meeting. I'm just going to do it without any audio. And then to get into your background, what you'll do is you'll tap on this more button with the 3 dots over here. And if you tap on more, you'll see now that in that drop-down menu, you have backgrounds and filters. So if you tap on backgrounds and filters, this is where your virtual background menu is going to live. And you'll see over here, I have a green screen. This is what we refer to as a slider. So if you did have a green screen literally in back of you, you would just move that slider to the right. And if I were to do this, it will, I don't have a green screen, so it's not going to do anything.
So, excuse me. I as I mentioned that I have an iPad, right? And then I do exactly what you say. And then underneath is that I have a green screen. And so it's not, if I don't have one, then I'm not supposed to put it to green. I just leave it white, right?
Exactly.
But on my iPad, I add new picture like I did on my computer. It doesn't go blurry.
Oh, it doesn't go blurry on this one.
No.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So even I didn't click I have a green screen and it looks okay, perfectly. My face really clear, everything. So
Okay. And so that's on the new computer?
my iPad Air Generation 4.
Okay. All right. So good. So it looks great.
Only on my computer go blurry.
Yeah, it does.
My iPhone and iPad, okay.
Okay, all right. They may have better video graphics, I'm thinking. At any rate, I'm glad to hear that, Angela. For those of you who are working on an iPad, or excuse me, a tablet or a smartphone today, you may or may not have a few photos here. Typically, there's like 2 of them, blur, there's the grass, there's the planet. What you can do to add your own photos, your images, you'll click on the plus button. And what's happening here is it's bringing you, because your tablet and your smartphone doesn't have a hard drive like your PC. Instead, what it's doing is it's bringing you to your camera roll. And one of the things that you'll need to do when you're downloading, the Zoom app, is if you do want to add images to your virtual background from your camera roll, you'll need to have give Zoom access to your camera roll. So once you've done that, when you tap on the plus sign, it's going to bring you to your camera roll. I'll just select a picture, tap on the done button on the lower right. And then what it's done is you can see that it's changed my Zoom, my virtual background. And again, you can add images, or if you have videos that maybe you've taken, you can try loading videos as well. And if you wanted to, trying to think, if you have images on your Google Drive, you would probably need to download them to your device in order to have access to them. Because when you click on the tap button, the only thing it will do, I think, is bring you to your photos. It's not going to allow you to have access to your Google Drive directly. So that's just something to think about there. Any questions about adding images when you're on a smartphone or tablet. I'm just going to tap the X button on my upper right-hand corner, and that closes. And so here I am, I'm back live. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. What else did I want to cover today? Let's see. Let's make this a little bit larger. So that's working with virtual backgrounds. And really, you know, that's what we were going to cover in our class today. So I wanted to make sure people understood if they needed to get a green screen, what their options were, when you need a green screen, when you don't. Also how you can add photos, how you can add videos as a background. And the fact that if you're working off of the desktop app, you don't even need to start a Zoom call, a Zoom session. You can just open up the app and go into your settings menu. Anyone have any questions about this?
It's always me.
No, that's okay.
You just mentioned that you will show me how to download Google for.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when, if you will stay on, Angela, I'll be happy to walk you through that.
Sure.
Anyone else have any questions about Roz? Actually, you have a question. Sorry. You said, I have a laptop, Windows 10, less than 2 years. It doesn't support virtual backgrounds. Really? So it's running Windows 10. It's less than 2 years old. Roz, what make is it? Do you know what model you have? Is it like an HP or something? I don't know if Roz is on. Yeah, gotten kicked off. Yes, Elaine, I will be sending a list of websites for free photos. I sure will. We'll include that in the after class notes, you bet. Because they're a lot of fun. It's so beautiful to go through them all, depending on you. Do you love meadows or flowers or oceans? I'm an ocean person, so that's, you know, my go-to. But yeah, there's just lots of beautiful photos out there.
I have a question, Vicki. This is not pertaining to this, but I missed one of your classes. I think it was yesterday, trying to get in for about 30 to 45 minutes. Are you planning on having web browsing class again?
Marlene, so we will have it. We usually have that class typically about maybe like once a week, I think. So it will be given again soon. And if you go onto the Get Set Up site and just search for, you know, about web, I think Bob Cohen will probably be giving the next one. And what you may have run into is some of you may have noticed that we've instituted some new security measures in the past few weeks. So after 5 minutes, once the class has started, after 5 minutes, that's our new cutoff time. So if you're currently
yeah, I was there at the very beginning, and
you
I still
were
couldn't get in. Yeah, and it just
okay.
would not let me in.
I'll be happy to ask support. Is it okay if I ask you?
You are in and out. What did you say again?
Oh, sorry. Is it okay if would you like me to have support contact you separately?
Well, I can go in, I can call them because they gave me a message telling me I could try it again or call them up for assistance. I did call in the support, but she told me to keep trying to get in for 5 minutes, and I just kind of finally gave up. But no, I was really surprised. Yeah, it started from the time that, you know, you open up, and it kept, I know it's a little bit slow, but this is ridiculous. And it kept trying to let me in, and it went out. Let me in and let me out. So I couldn't get all the way in. So therefore, unfortunately, I missed your class because of it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies. I'm sorry to hear about that. Well, let me talk to our support team about this, okay?
Okay, all right. So yeah, I
Um,
wanted you to be my guide, so. So I'll wait until your next one shows up. I just
Okay.
didn't know if you knew at the top of your head. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And speaking of other classes, for those of you who are interested in taking other Zoom classes, because we have lots of them. We have advanced Zoom, and let me go ahead and here's my Get Set Up. I'm on the Get Set Up site, by the way, and where it says search guides and classes, if I simply type out the word Zoom, there's always this drop down list that I can view. I'm going to press enter on my keyboard so that it displays everything out there. We have some tips and tricks for those of you who are interested in learning how to schedule and host a Zoom meeting. We have a class, also the how to look like a superstar. This takes you through how to set up your lighting so that you look a little bit better on your Zoom calls. We talked today about Zoom virtual backgrounds. We also have how you can create custom virtual backgrounds. That's a lot of fun. For those of you who might be interested in learning how to use the whiteboard, the annotation, or if you would like to practice your hosting, practice hosting, we have sessions for that. Want to get some practice sessions in. And what else do we have? Advanced Zoom, if you are interested in learning how to use breakout rooms. We have a lot going on. So lots and lots of great classes for Zoom for those of you who are interested in just diving a little bit deeper. I teach the host and schedule a Zoom meeting. I teach a number of the Google classes. One that's coming up, creating collaboration with Google Apps. And I teach a number of other classes, but I did wanted to thank everyone for joining me today. I hope that you're a little bit more comfortable with the idea of using your Zoom background, your virtual background. And it looks like Roz, you have your little filter on with your glasses. That's another thing that Zoom has recently added. You can have these filters. So when you go and you click on that up arrow button, and instead of selecting virtual background, you can select choose video filter. And they have all these different filters that you can add. Roz was using her sunglasses.
Those are cute.
Yeah, it's hilarious. There's like lots of money with it. You know, I have my little, I think that's pizza. I thought it was, or maybe it's a party hat. You know, you can have like little ears and whatever you want. And or I'm just going to click off none. And so that's the filters. Instead of virtual backgrounds, you can select video filters and just play away to your heart's content. So lots of fun. Anybody have any questions that I can answer for you? I know I'm going to have some folks staying after class just so that I can help them, but anybody, any questions about virtual backgrounds that we talked about? We're all good. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me. I loved your questions. I'll be sending after class notes. They're chock full of great stuff. And, you know, you can always take this class over again. That's what I tell people. If there are certain things you didn't catch, come back and take the class again. So we would love to
get the recording.
Or get the recording. Yes, exactly. Perfect. Otherwise, have a great rest of your weekend, a great rest of your Saturday, and take care, everyone. I hope to see you in another class. Angela, you have some, Angela, are you good now? We were going to talk about Google, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
why I'm staying.
All right. Did anybody else have anything they needed help with?
I did. You were gonna show me about virtual background or see